Hello guys, I just wanted to do a quick guide on a really awesome planet for a very good outpost. There are some YouTubers and stuff like that that I have watched which has helped me out trying to find some of these locations, and I will leave their details in the description below. Now, the system that we're going to be looking at is the Linnaeus system, and particularly the planet Linnaeus 4b. Now, the Linnaeus system is located just down to the left here of Olympus, which is where you will find the dream home, which is a trait that you can get at the start of the game to get a house on in the Olympus system. And then it's kind of also a little bit down to the right here from Alpha Centauri, if you're having a little bit of a difficult time in the star map trying to find where this planet is. So, once you've gotten to this system and we're coming down here to planet 4b, the first thing we're going to notice is the general planet, and then you have to scan it, and then you're going to come up with this kind of map that has a whole bunch of kind of color-coded areas. And these colors essentially relate to the different types of resources that are kind of generally around in this area, right? But what's more important than kind of just looking simply at the colors and going, oh, the resources are kind of there, is that these resources and why they're kind of abundant in certain areas and then kind of dissipate away actually relates to the biomes. So, for example, if I click here, what you're going to find is that this destination is called hills. So that's a kind of biome, right? And then if I click over here on helium, we have craters. Now, anywhere along this kind of red, you're kind of generally going to see that every time I press on this is like a really massive area on a planet, right? It's all kind of coming up as hills. So in a hills biome, what you're going to see is this kind of iron, you're going to see alkynes. Also, I find that you can find ytterbium as well, which is this kind of legendary or rare kind of resource, and that's going to be in that biome. When we come over here to helium and we look at craters, that's going to have it's going to have helium, aluminium, and beryllium is generally around in crater areas as well. And when we're trying to find a really good outpost location, we're actually trying to find an area or kind of the border between two biomes in which we want these kind of resources. So we kind of want the resources of alkynes, iron, ytterbium from the hills, and then also the helium, aluminium, and beryllium that's found in these crater biomes. Now, how you kind of find out what's exactly in a biome whenever you find a planet, and this could be any planet that you guys find in the future, right? Is go and land in these biomes. Like I can press X here on the PC and travel and land here, and I can kind of look around and see, okay, what are the kind of resources that are in the hills, and then I can do that for another random biome, up here, like a plateau or there's volcanic as well. But they're not important to this video because they don't actually have many of the resources that we're looking for this outpost location. But just in the future, go and explore biomes and see what's in them, because this is going to give you a better idea of how you guys can find good locations yourself in the future for outposts. Okay, so now for this outpost that is really good on this planet, we're gonna what I've done is I've kind of landed in between where the hills and a crater kind of biomass. So for example, I'm showing you over here because I can't kind of click where I've landed because it won't let me click near it to travel because it's too close. But just for example, like as we can see here, we've got craters, and then a little bit kind of over here, we've got hills. And I've kind of landed in between this kind of strip here because I want my outpost to be in the middle of those two biomes where they kind of intersect, because that's going to give me the good amount of resources that come from hills biomes as well as the good resources that come from crater biomes. So the landing location that we're going to choose for this outpost to try and get 5 to 6 resources is right here. I can't kind of click around it to show you, or maybe I can. Up here, we have hills biome, and then kind of down below it we have the craters biome, and I've kind of selected right here because it kind of intersects between those two biomes, right? So I'm here on the planet's surface, and as we can see here to the right, we've got a bunch of the hills and the mountains and that biome. And then to the left, it dissipates into this crater biome. And we can tell the crater biome by the fact that you're going to see a lot more of these kind of gas vents, which will generally have helium and stuff on them. And it gets a lot flatter than the actual hill biomes. Because we've chosen to land in between a crater and a hill biome, you should only kind of run into hills, and then when you don't have hills you're going to be in a crater biome, right? Another way to be able to kind of figure out where you are a little bit easier is going to be coming into our kind of planet map and then going down to this option of show me, and show me is going to give you this kind of basic terrain map. It can be a little bit difficult to read because it doesn't kind of indicate things too much outside of just kind of dots that have different elevations, right? But this is where our ship landed, where I showed the landing spot on the planet. And then here we have these hills, right? And this is a hill biome. And then over here we have these little bowl-shaped kind of dips in the surface of the biome, and these kind of show craters, right? So this is the crater biome. And running kind of anywhere along kind of here where I'm showing you with the cursor, that's going to be running in kind of the intersecting line between the crater biome and the hill biome. And anywhere along here, you're going to have a high chance of being able to find resources that are likely found in craters, and then resources that are likely found in hills, to find a really good kind of outpost location. So when I bring my scanner out and I press R on PC to bring out an outpost beacon, as we look here up in the hills area, the kind of resources we're getting are mostly just iron and water. Water you can get with an extractor that gets water vapor, and I think on any planet that has water, you can pretty much get water anywhere on the planet. And then down here in the crater area, we're getting beryllium, helium, and aluminium. And where we want to put our outpost is when we come along here, as we can run along here, and we see right between where the hills and the craters intersect, we get this perfect kind of location here where we're getting 6 resources. Now, I've also found that up on this kind of hill there is ytterbium, but I can't actually find a location where I can get 7 resources. But if you get really lucky, you might actually be able to get 7 resources somewhere on the planet. But the big key here, guys, is that you want to try and get an area where the biomes intersect, and you're not always going to get this perfect kind of situation that I have here. You might actually have to run, along this kind of hill, or whichever hill you find in your landing locations, until you kind of reach an area where you get the perfect kind of crater resources and you get the perfect hill resources combining together to make a really nice outpost location, where you can farm a whole bunch of really nice resources. So yeah, I will place down my outpost and hope that you guys have found this video informative and been able to help you guys have a really nice early kind of outpost, or an outpost anytime along the game, really, because having 6 resources with 1 outpost is just absolutely amazing. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.